So we talk a lot about that moment, right? That flash when you see through an illusion, when the comfortable story you've been living in just, well, it stops feeling real. But that moment of clarity, it opens up a much, much harder question.
And that's really what it's all about, isn't it? It's not about the flash of insight itself. It's about what you do in the moments, the days, the years that come after. What actually happens to a person who sees it and then just has to keep going?
Okay, here's the first thing we have to get straight. There's no going back. You just can't. Once that little switch flips in your head, the old way of seeing the world is gone. For good.
And that brings us right to the first stage of this whole journey, the point of no return. This is all about what it feels like in the immediate aftermath of that huge shift in how you see everything. This right here, this is the core of it. It's that shaky, unstable feeling where the script you thought you were following suddenly feels like it's written in a different language. The world outside hasn't changed, but your relationship to it has been totally rewired. The story just doesn't fit anymore.
And because that feeling is so uncomfortable, our first instinct is usually to just run away from it. You know, we might try to distract ourselves with work or doom scrolling or whatever. Maybe we try to numb it. We can even just try to pretend that nothing ever changed. But deep down, you know something fundamental is different.
So after that initial shock starts to wear off, something new kind of starts to take its place. It's this persistent feeling that you're now on the outside, looking in.
We have to be really precise about this feeling, though. This isn't about arrogance. It's not feeling like you're better or superior to anyone. Honestly, it's way stranger and a lot lonelier than that. It's like you're watching a game, and everyone else believes with all their heart that the rules are real, and you just can't anymore.
This really spells out that disconnect. On one side, you've got the game, that it seems like everyone else is playing. It's built on opinions they inherited, meaning that feels kind of performed. But on the other side is the reality you're now seeing, that underneath it all, there's no solid ground. It's mostly imitation, and nobody is nearly as sure of themselves as they look.
You know, this experience actually has a name, and it's important. It's not social isolation. You can feel this in a room packed with your best friends. It's existential isolation. You feel separate because your basic, fundamental understanding of how reality works has split off from the people around you.
And this feeling, this deep isolation, it forces you to a crossroads. Which brings us to section 3, the 3 paths. This is where you have to make a really big decision about how you're going to move forward from here.
And this is absolutely crucial to understand. Seeing the truth isn't a superpower. It doesn't magically make you stronger or happier. Mostly what it does is it removes structure. And for most of us, that kind of freedom doesn't feel like liberation. It feels a lot more like you're just falling.
So without that external structure holding you up, 2 paths suddenly look incredibly tempting. The first one is to just collapse into apathy. I mean, the logic is simple, right? If nothing really matters, then why even bother trying? The second path is to actively retreat, to go back into an illusion, to consciously choose the comfort of a familiar story over the cold, hard clarity you just found. And this quote, man, it just perfectly captures why people choose that second path. They don't go back because someone convinced them with logic. They go back because a comfortable belief, even if you know it's an illusion, it's more livable than carrying the full weight of reality all the time. So yeah, a lot of people just rebuild a smaller, safer version of the very illusion they just escaped. They choose to belong somewhere instead of facing that uncertainty. But is that it? Are those really the only options? Is there another way?
Yes, there is. And that brings us to the third path, which is by far the most difficult one. We're calling it building on nothing. Now, when we say creating meaning, we're not talking about the kind of surface-level advice you see on a motivational poster. This isn't about just following your passion or doing what makes you happy. Nope. It's something much, much heavier. It's the conscious act of choosing values that you know you can't prove, committing to them without any certainty it'll work out, and then acting on them without anyone else to tell you you're doing the right thing. This quote really captures the sheer difficulty of it. It's the act of building something, creating something, caring about something, all while being totally, completely aware that the universe itself is indifferent. It literally does not care whether you succeed or fail.
And that right there is everything. That's the whole move. In the face of that giant, cosmic who cares, you make a conscious choice. A defiant one, really.
you choose to care anyway. And that act of choosing to care, that brings us to the final, and maybe the most profound challenge in this entire journey, the final test.
So here's the question, and it's aimed right at you. Can you build a purpose for yourself, knowing full well that you invented it, and still give it enough weight, enough seriousness, to actually guide your life?
I mean, the difference is just so stark. It's one thing, it's easier to believe in a meaning that was handed to you, supported by your culture and everyone around you. But it is profoundly harder to believe in a meaning when you are fully aware that you made it up from scratch. That's the real edge.
And this might be the biggest takeaway of all. That moment of insight, of seeing through the game, that's not the achievement. It's not the finish line. It is the absolute beginning. It's the starting gun for the real work.
So in the end, it really all comes down to this choice. You've got path 1, the given. It's inherited, it's convenient, and it's comfortable. And then you have path 2, the chosen. It has to be built by you, it has to be carried by you, and it comes with absolutely zero guarantees. The question isn't which path is better. The question is, after seeing it all, which one are you going to walk?